everybody. Today we're going to be working on a really cool card. The inspiration came from a video that I saw by another crafter that I watch. Her name is Yoli Bean. This is the card, not exactly the one that she made. This was my, my interpretation of that. But she does have a video on how she did hers. It was awesome, and thank you so much for the inspiration if you're watching this. This actually is the invitation for my daughter's birthday party. I made it based on, like I said, what I saw with Yoli Bean's video, and I thought it was really cute. But the one that I'm going to show you guys today isn't this one because I made a lot of these, and I want to do something with a different pattern and just to see how it comes out. I'm using some pattern paper from this Stampin' Up! Sweet Pea Designer Series paper pack. I've had it laying around my house since like February, and I never used it because I am a chronic paper hoarder, and it has a lot of like fun designs. I'm sure most of you guys out there have seen all of this, so you know what's in there, but I've not used any of it because I just hoard paper ridiculously. So we're going to be using that. So I guess we should just go ahead and get started. You're going to start off first with a whole sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and this is taken with teal. You're going to want to cut this in half the long way at 4 1/4. And then you're going to need to score each of these at 5 1/2. And I always like to fold it just to make sure that everything is even, because sometimes it's off by just a little bit, and when I realize that, I get really annoyed. So that looks good. Okay, the next thing you're going to want to do is unfold it. And this part is slightly tricky. You're going to need to line up your card, and you're going to want the one point in the groove here, and then you're going to want the tip of the score line, the very top of the score line on the other side, on the other end. And then you just cut on a diagonal. And then you want to take your other half and do it in the opposite direction, because you're going to want it to fold this way and have the ends overlap this way. It'll make more sense after I'm done. So once again, you want to line that up in the groove, the tip of the score line with the bottom of the card, and just cut on a diagonal. And then when it's folded together, that's what you have. So we're gonna move this aside. And the paper, like I said, I got this paper, this designer paper, out of the, but you're gonna need 2 of these. I already have one of them cut, because you're gonna just need to cut it on the diagonal once again. And the reason why you need 2 is because you need them to be opposite of each other, because what you're going to need to have happen is you're going to need to have one piece that does this and another piece, oops, I get it right eventually, that does this. So when you fold them over, you'll have that. So anyway, we're going to move all this confusion out of the way and assemble the card. Now, when I have to do a whole lot of cards or multiples of the same thing, like invitations, which I seem to be doing a ton of these days, I like to use a glue stick because it's a lot more economical. It's a lot better than having to go out and buy a bunch of tape runners or Tombow mono adhesives or whatever it is that you use. Never underestimate the power of a good glue stick. I found that Stampin' Up! Has really good ones. They stick, they hold really well. So I've had good result with them. So I just stick with what works. Haha, get it? Stick. Anyway, gonna stick this together. Here is the second one. Now, I am gonna use tape runner, my Glue Glider Pro, for this one because I think the glue stick would just be too messy. So I'm gonna run this along the very bottom all the way across, and then just about a third of the way up on the opposite side. I'm just gonna fold this over. And there you have that. So I'm going to set that aside for now. Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to stamp. And I have 3 different colors because I'm going to mat this on all 3 of the colors. And I decided in these lovely butterflies that I am going to use this one here that looks like it's kind of flying. Because when it's on the card, I want it to kind of peek out of the top, kind of like that. So I'm just going to stick that on there. Take my Taken with Teal. And hopefully this will work right on the first try. Later on you will see exactly what I'm talking about. Or actually in another video you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. I don't like it. See? Make sure the ink is in there really well. Have to press this one down really well. Good enough. Next thing I'm gonna do is sponge the sides on this. We're done with that. So next, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and assemble all of my pieces here. Now, I'm gonna add just a bit more sparkle. I'm just gonna outline here. Okay. Some important things that I remember when I tie a ribbon or tie a knot is I take my right over my left, tie it under. With the part that's facing up, I flip it back over so that it's laying kind of flat. And then I just loop and make a knot. I bring my bottom one up and over. And then I just pull with it for a minute. And, you know, that's what I do. Get my scissors, cut my tails. And there it is. So, I'm pretty much done with the card. I just have my insert here. I just slide it in, and you have the special little butterfly peeking out at the top there. And then when you open it up, you see all your little pretty work. Well, that's the card for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, happy stamping!